every night on this week on the show, we've focused on what is turning the fascinating high-stakes elections in Uttar Pradesh, from jobs to caste dynamics and more. Tonight, another key turning point in the UP battle is for the OBC vote, the other backward caste. Now, they're about 40% of Uttar Pradesh, of which the Yadavs was solidly behind the Samajwadi Party at about 10%. There are no exact figures, these are all guesstimates. The BJP, so far seen as an upper caste party, has expanded, and as it expands its social base, has targeted the remaining 30% OBCs, often just referred to as the non-Yadav OBCs, broken into dozens of smaller castes like Lodhs, Kurmis, Sainis, Nishads, and so on. Now, this targeting of the non-Yadav OBC has given the BJP a numerical advantage in UP's caste arithmetic. Until now, largely it was the upper castes that were leaning towards the BJP. They were only 20%, but if you add the non-Yadav OBCs of roughly 30%, a section of the Dalits, let's say a ballpark of 10%, that gives roughly a figure of 60% leaning towards the BJP, while on the other side, leaning towards the SP are Yadavs 10%, Muslims approximately 20% in Uttar Pradesh, 30%. So 60 on one side, 30 on another. Again, remember, these are not absolute numbers, but it gives you an idea of how the BJP's social base has expanded and has allowed it to win in UP in very, very significant ways. Now, this tilt, this grooming of the non-Yadav OBCs is reflected in the data. According to the Center for Science Social Studies, CSDS, BJP's non-Yadav OBC vote share has zoomed from 2009 Lok Sabha elections, where it was about 30%, to the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, 70%. So it's more than a double jump. Exit poll data. But scholars like Gilles Vernier and Christophe Jaffrelot have argued that despite this active outreach to smaller OBC castes, the non-Yadav OBCs, the BJP still remains an upper caste dominated party. As per the data that they've crunched, BJP candidates in the 2017 Vidhan Sabha UP Assembly elections, upper caste 184, almost 50%, even though upper caste is only 20% of the population, while OBCs were only 96, just 25%. So 50% upper caste, 25%. So there's a big gap. Now, this is reflected in the BJP MLAs in the current UP or the outgoing UP Assembly, where the upper caste MLAs are about 50% and OBCs are just half at about 24%. In the Yogi cabinet, again, upper castes are many more, 50%, OBCs are only 35%. Now, as a corrective to this upper caste dominance in the lead up to the UP elections, the Modi government dramatically reduced the number of upper castes in the union cabinet in that last big reshuffle which was conducted in July last year. So there, if one looks at it, the upper caste in the union cabinet during Modi 1.0 were almost 80% according to Gilles Vernier and Christophe Jaffrelot. But now, after the July reshuffle, that number has fallen to just over 30%. So there's been a big drop in the number of upper castes in the Modi cabinet, an attempt to send a signal that the BJP is serious about reaching out to particularly the smaller OBC groups. But the BJP's rivals, especially the Samajwadi Party, are now making concerted efforts to challenge this dominance, tying up with a host of parties representing these smaller OBC castes, some of them former allies of the BJP. Now, these SP's alliances rival, if not even, have started to overtake the BJP in this election. Look at the two alliances now when it comes to these smaller OBC caste parties. The BJP has the Apna Dal party, which is a party of the Kurmis. This is another smaller OBC section. And the Nishad party, which is a party of the Nishads, the boatman community OBCs. The SP alliance, on the other hand, has the SBSP party of Om Prakash Rajbhar, which targets the Rajbhar OBC community. The breakaway faction or the rival faction of the Apna Dal, which is a Kurmi-based party or a Kurmi-centric party, and the Mahan Dal party, which is a party largely of the Sainis and Kushwahas, again small OBCs. And the Janwadi party, a party of the Nonia OBC community. Moreover, the exit of OBC leaders like Swami Prasad Maurya and others from the BJP appears to have made the race for this section of these smaller OBC groups, this non-Yadav OBC pool, into a more contested fight.